Hi, today we are building rebuild the cylinder head for the Alfasud 1.5 Ti Quadrifoglio Verde or green cover leaf. So we're going to install the valve steam seals, valves and everything back in the head. So the head, it's a small head, of course it's a 2-cylinder, 1-inch bank, so that's the way it looks like. Okay, so I've got two block of wood just to make sure nothing's going to happen to the surface. So what we need to do, put some oil on this, valve guides. Put those back at, make sure you put them always first. There's some cars, they don't really like to, the valve steam seal, they won't allow you to put them in. Like in that case, so you put the bracket, there's a wee small shimps which goes under the valve spring, and that's your valve steam seal. That's it. So again, make sure you've got plenty of oil here. Just a bit, but I use a special tool. You can use a socket as long as you're going to fit right on top of the edge of the seal. Right here. Don't, because if we go on the middle of the seal you will destroy it. So make sure it's going to be right on this edge. In that case, this is tool you can get on eBay for very cheap. I think it's about £25. Well, that I bought that before pandemic, so I don't know now what's happened. So put some oil on the tool. You put your valve steam seal inside of it. And you do this. Just put in. Hear that noise? It's arrived. You can't do it anymore. So same procedures for all of them. That's it. Put back in. Now I'm going to set the head in the vise, and I'm going to put the valves in. So put the valve in, just put some oil on the valve shaft, on the valve seat. Actually it's the seat. I already lapped the valve in the previous video. That's it, so just put them in. Okay, so I'll all in. Right, so at the moment we're going to install the valve springs. As a compressor, valve spring compressor tool. So this setup has got twin spring per valve. So you put them one. The small one goes inside the big one. So I use some bearing grease to help myself to put those collar. So what you do, you put the things on, you make sure with the tool you're not going to scratch anywhere. Go bang in the middle of the valve. You just compress the valve spring, right, like so, until you will see the collar exposed, sorry, the groove for the collar exposed on the valve shaft. So normally I do this, put just a small amount of grease on the top of the screwdriver, and I put some on the inside and some on the outside, just some on the screwdriver, just to hold the collar on the screwdriver, so it will stay on without drop. So to compress a bit more. Just come off, decide to come off. Right. So normally I do, I squash it in, turn it on the other side. Of course, the best axis you have. I'm right-handed, so for me it works that way. Somebody else might do it the other way around, but that's me. And that's it. That's the first valve. Done. Right, so all back together, all the valves are in. Now we're going to put the cam box on, and I'll show you how I do the valve clearance on those engines. Well, on any engines. The one we do with the shims. Just a moment, we'll grab some more stuff. We need that gasket. It's important. That's for the cam box. And the 4 bolts for the cam box. And that's it. So we did zinc plate most of the bolt. This has been zinc plate, so there's the one they're going outside, so the visible one, the inside one, we didn't bother too much. Same story with the head bolts. So the one they're exposed to outside, we re-zinced them, and the one are on inside, and we just left them as they are, because they're into the oil, no one will see them, so it's not really like that. Okay, so what we do, we put power head here on those wood block, make sure they're not touching the valve, because of course you will put the cam box in, although it's got a position which the valve is going to be shut, there is a risk that if you're not careful on this, you could damage the valves. Okay, so this gasket goes like so on the top. We put some oil into the where this valve, the tappet goes. Tappets are marked just because, of course, for the valve clearance you need to mark them when you take them out. So as previously I say, I marked myself cylinder number as a 1, as a, you know, as a starting point. So you mark 1 you want, and what you do, so the camshaft goes in that case that way, because this one is the left hand side bank. If you look, no sorry, the right hand side bank if you look at the engine at the front. So we'll just put the cam box like that, number 1 in there.